This is the bipolar video part 2 here, second one, and I was talking about, what it's like to be bipolar, and I remember when I went to the hospital. It was in January, January of 1999. I was 15 years old, and I was in this hospital bed, and they handcuffed my arm to the bed. I got handcuffed, and I was taken to this ambulance, and they handcuffed me in the ambulance. I didn't even do anything wrong, and I got handcuffed like a prisoner, like some criminal, and took me to the hospital, and you couldn't even wear shoes in the hospital. So I was wearing these cheap hospital socks. They kept getting holes in them, so I had to wear like 2 pairs of socks. Couldn't go outside. Sometimes they would take you to this like indoor, like little courts to play like basketball or volleyball. And it was tough at the hospital. I was there for about 6 weeks, and they were doing these tests on me to figure out what was going on, and they showed me these like Rorschach like ink blot tests. And I remember at the time there were boys and girls and mixed together. Later they separated them, but I just remember that at one point they were like, okay, you're bipolar, you're gonna take these medications. And I didn't have a choice, like I had to take them. And I remember one time I had this plastic knife in my sock, like a real gangster, and I was sitting talking to the doctor. I'd meet with the doctor frequently, and I crossed my leg like this, and this plastic knife fell out of my sock on the floor, and I looked at the doctor, and he was like, huh? It was like so funny the way the doctor looked, because he wasn't like surprised, but it was just so funny. This like, I don't know, it was a weird moment, something out of a TV show. And there was this one guy like who went crazy at the hospital. He just lost control, and the staff had to like grab him and put him in the bed and like tie his arms, and they shot him with something. And I looked in this window, and he was like that. And that's like this movie Girl Interrupted, that's like a book right there, what it's like to be in a mental hospital for 6 weeks. It's a real experience. I feel like I had my darkest moment in my whole life in that hospital. And they put me in this little room, and the room had a bathroom, and the door wouldn't lock to the bathroom. And I was like, there was a bed with these like straps. I wasn't strapped, but I was in that room, and I was sitting on the floor in this room all alone with the bed with the straps. And I was like, it was like a movie, and I was like thinking like, how did I get here? How did I go from living at home with my parents, like this normal life, to sitting in this little room in a mental hospital where I couldn't get out? I had no freedom. I had no control over my life. Like you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the same time. You just eat what they give you. You can't go outside. You can't wear shoes. The bathroom didn't have a lock on it. It was like, what am I doing here? Very dramatic. It was like this darkest moment in my life. And and I didn't like have some kind of epiphany. I didn't have some like light bulb go off and like, from this moment I'm gonna get my life together, and I'm gonna do this and this and this and blah blah blah. I was just like in that moment, and of course eventually I got out of it and stuff. But there's so much drama at that hospital, like these like relationships with these girls, and people had their issues. And there's some girl who had this like huge mark on her wrist because she punched some mirror and stuff. And like, from there, I went to this adult group home called Sunny Hills in San Anselmo in Marin. And I think now it's like for developmentally disabled kids. It used to be for like mental health stuff. And I was there from March the 4th of 1999 to June 27th of 2001. And that's where I like went to high school and got my diploma from high school. And there was so much drama. That's like another like hour-long video. Like the kids had these troubles, and the police would come, and there was this kid who like had a baseball bat. He was like walking around threatening people, and the police had to like shoot him with rubber bullets, to get the baseball bat out. There was a kid there who was like hiding drugs in the bathroom and like selling them. This guy was like high, and he was like going crazy and like talking fast and violent and stuff. And but while I was there, I went to school, and I didn't get into too much trouble. I had a job there at the local CVS, and it was this like program from Marin County where like I would work at CVS, but I got paid by the government in Marin. And I actually kind of worked a lot there. And my counselor, Brad Freed, he was this really cool guy. He said, well, normally kids don't want to work and they're lazy, but you do want to work. And I really wanted to just get out of that place. I didn't really enjoy working retail at CVS, but I just wanted to get out of there. I mean, I actually got paid too, some low rate, like maybe like $8 an hour or something real low, but I got paid, and I felt like I was a little bit normal. I remember one time the ice cream freezer broke, and they said we could take the ice cream home, and so I took like 4 big ice creams, like those half gallons, like 2 gallons of ice cream back, and everyone had free ice cream. And it was just so interesting, because I felt like I was different, like I wasn't normal, like everyone there had some kind of different problems, and I felt like I was, it's weird if you have like a mental problem and you're like at a mental hospital or like a group home, and everyone else has mental problems, and it's like, that you all have mental problems and you're different than other people, but it's like you don't think about that all the time. You're not always thinking about it, but it just kind of comes at you like sun through the clouds sometimes. Like we had these vans, and we would go like to the farmer's market in San Rafael. We'd go there and we'd walk around, and we'd see all these like people our age, these teenagers, just walking around or sitting on the grass, chilling with their friends. And sometimes I would like look inward at myself, and I would see them, and I would be like, they're normal, I'm not normal. They have everything, I have nothing. Their life's easy, my life's full of problems. And that can be really hard, especially like when you're in that situation and you don't realize that if you keep doing that hard work, and especially if you can get a job and hold on to your job, that at some point you might not be like normal like them, but at some point you can really be about as normal as what's is good enough. I've heard some people say, oh, we don't like the word normal, but at some point you don't have to feel like you're like all messed up or damaged or anything. I remember after I graduated, after I left Sunny Hills, and I had a job and I had my own room. I was renting this room in this guy's house for like $480 a month. I think that was, 2002, I guess. It was in 2002, and I was like 18 or 19. I was renting a room in this guy's house, still working at CVS, just a different one, doing retail, and I got a full-time job there with like a low salary, but I guess it was enough to pay, and I was like living on my own. And I went back to Sunny Hills, and I had my grandma's car that I inherited when she passed away. So I drove my own car, and I had my own place, my own job. And I went and I talked to them, and I just felt like I was so successful and like I made it and stuff. It was such a feeling.